Hey everyone, Token Dave over here, the dorky token black guy that's just trying to get by. And welcome to my first edition of Comicbook Concepts. Here I explain certain jargon, slang, items, and other terminology that comic book fans like to use when they explain things about their heroes, villains, or certain events and occurrences that happen within the comics. Keep in mind that a lot of these are not solely exclusive to comic books. A lot of these terms can be applied to other realms of fiction, such as fantasy and science fiction. There's one staple in sci-fi that everyone's heard of if you watch a show like Star Trek, Doctor Who, and I'm sure that you've heard of the term parallel dimension. However, in comic books, there's something called a parallel dimension as well as a parallel universe. And that can get a little tricky to explain, So I'm going to try to give my simplest explanation on the difference between a parallel dimension or alternate dimension, between a multiverse or a parallel universe. Okay? So, a parallel dimension or an alternate dimension is pretty basic, straightforward, and on small scale. Like right now, we're living in reality, or the reality that we know. However, basically, there can be differences in time and everything, or timelines, where a certain event does happen or does not happen and can alter the events of that particular dimension or that reality. For example, let's just say, for instance, that JFK was never shot, right? That Lee Harvey Oswald was captured or something happened to him, preventing JFK from being shot, right? That dimension or that alternate reality will have different occurrences happening, and some things that we know historically might have still happened, or some things might happen differently. All right, that will be more like a parallel dimension or alternate reality, right? That's on a smaller scale though, because basically when you're talking about a universe, it at least is basically talking about how things affect our whole universe, as in basically not just our planet, but everything connected to the other planets. Like, Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, right? And then, if I remember my astrology correctly, it's Mercury, Venus, Earth, then Mars. But I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. However, the point of the matter is that basically something that happens, that can happen here, right? It can affect all those planets, or all those planets in that order could be rearranged. All right, that would be an alternate universe and alternate reality. So an alternate universe reality or multiverse will have basically a different alignment, different spheres of times, right? But will affect everything as a whole more so. This delves into deep scientific jargon, where you could talk about string theory, where you could talk about basically the absence of presence of time. It could get very, very scientific, but I'm not trying to get that deep into it. So basically, in simplest terms, a parallel dimension or alternate reality is something immediate and simple that some small things have changed, all right? Where a multiverse or a parallel universe is basically something that affects multiple planets in a collective group, and that it also basically has a repetitive view of things on a multi-planetal or a galactic scale. All right? I hope that explained anything. However, if you have any additional questions or concerns, right, drop me a comment. As well, give me a like, subscribe, ring that bell so that you'll be the first to know when a new video loads, and spread this video out. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy just trying to get by, and I'll catch you guys later.